LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
As a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, joining IAVA.org really helps in the transition home. It's a network of OIF and OEF vets like me who've got your back here, just like we did over there. That means when you need help navigating the GI Bill, we've got your back. And when you're dealing with the transition home, we've got your back. Or when you just want someone to share stories with, we've got your back. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Brought to you by IAVA and the Ad Council.
I'm a radio guy. Always have been. I grew up with radio and still love it today. I love talk, music, and great personalities. I used to have satellite, and I've tried internet stations, but you know what? Local radio is still my favorite. Then I found HD radio. Now I get all the stations I've always listened to, plus a lot more I never knew were there. The coolest part? I bought an HD radio for just $50, and I pay no monthly subscription fees. So if you like radio, you'll love HD radio.
More stations, no monthly fees. HD radio, a good deal more.
The following message is about Medicaid and CHIP, free or low-cost health coverage for kids and teens. Enrollment is open year-round.
Hey, voice lady, give me the mic.
Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Do you let other people order for you at a restaurant?
He'll have the saumon lyonnaise.
No, I won't. Or pick the movie you're gonna see?
She'd like a ticket to Attack on Rage Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, come on. So why would you let others make all the important decisions about how your life is going to be when you get older? I mean, is it okay with you if your kids decide where you're going to live?
My kids? Are you out?
Are you kidding?
Or perfect strangers choose who'll be taking care of you?
Not gonna happen.
No,
Better visit longtermcare.gov, the trusted information site that helps you find your own path forward without selling you anything. It takes you step by step through everything you need to consider about aging and all your options. Longtermcare.gov. Stay in charge by planning now or pay later.
How about a mohawk? How about a mohawk? How about I put my foot right... Oh, hi, honey.
Streams are where our kids play. And dogs splash. Many provide the water we drink. But are those streams clean and safe? For most local streams, no one knows. That's a problem. One the Isaac Walton League of America can help you solve with the Clean Water Challenge. To learn more and get involved, visit iwla.org. That's iwla.org.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
So much of our lives are online today that it's hard to know if we're being scammed. Keep your online information secure with simple steps you can take today. To learn more, go to CISA at cisa.gov/secure our world.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Barry, Sable, and Friends on Talk.
Hope you had a fun time at the bar last night. Yes, well, good morning. You have tuned in to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Always appreciate you for spending some of your busy Sunday with me. Yes, today I am coming to you live in studio, and that means you could catch me on YouTube, proudly wearing HOF, Hall of Fame, Eric Allen jersey number 21. Yes, I was in Canton, Ohio last weekend to celebrate his enshrinement into the Hall of Fame. What an honor. It was unbelievable. For those fans that showed up, they had a great time. So, call-in numbers 855-839-1210. Would love to hear from you. Besides, I have a very special guest worth talking to. Don't be shy. Just a few points if I can. Number one, I want to thank Josh at Mitchell and Ness for hooking me up on this beautiful green jersey. It's special. What a special store to shop in if you get an opportunity. Number two, Donald Trump, God bless you. And God bless the great job you're doing. Pam Bondi, Tom Holman, Kristi Noem, Marco Rubio, and all staff. Never tap out. Lastly, Vegas had me a 10-1 underdog. I would never last more than a month on the air. My ratings have been great due to listeners, and I want to thank you for listening in to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Always grateful to you. So, those in the Delaware Valley know who the door knocker is. The best ballot chaser in all of the land, CEO of Citizens Alliance. Cliff Maloney is a true Republican strategist, a real patriot, seen all over the airways, such as Newsmax, C-SPAN, the Barry Sable Show with friends, as well national TV stations, and of course Facebook. Claims to have knocked on over 8 million doors with his acclaimed crew. Frankly, I think the number's a little light. In addition to, many claim he was responsible for getting our very own Dave McCormick elected to the Senate and carrying Donald Trump, Donald Trump, over the finish line in Pennsylvania. He works relentlessly, flies all over the country, improving the opportunities of Republican Party candidates to get elected, and tells me he has a wife who he never sees. Ha! Lucky for her. Not so sure she even exists. My guest this Sunday morning, Delco's very own Cliff Maloney, my friend. By the way, if your phantom wife exists and she wants to call in numbers 855-839-1210. If not, my dear friend, good morning.
Uncle Barry, always the introduction of introductions, a total legend. It's an honor to be here. Appreciate everything you do, whether it's Pennsylvania, Jersey, all over the country. Always have great listeners, and having me on is a huge opportunity. So thank you for that, sir.
Of course, my brother. So let's get right to it. You have said America is back, and we will do everything to save her. What do you mean by that, and what are you seeing getting accomplished?
Yeah, look, I think that 2024, what happened in November to me was a mandate, right? I think a lot of politicians always say that, every election is some sort of mandate. But to me, I mean, the country was swinging so far to the left. Democrats putting up certain candidates like Harris, like Biden, no real process for Harris, all the woke stuff, putting men in girls' sports, men in girls' locker rooms, cutting off the private parts of kids, siding with illegals over Americans. Barry, we've had enough. Yeah. And I think that November proved that. So when I say that America is back, I think rational, sane, normal, hardworking, Delco-like folks stood up and said, no, enough's enough. We're not doing the crazy anymore. And I think it's up to those same rational folks to continue to work to root out this woke stuff and keep our country.
Yep. Oh, I agree. Listen, by the way, you are a man of many hats. I want to know which hat are you wearing to do this exhilarating interview and why? And if you don't have one, you better go get one.
I'm actually wearing a hat that says, "Welcome to the Gulf of America."
Okay.
I was gifted this hat when I spoke last week in Florida at an event with Ron DeSantis, Byron Donalds, and plenty of other patriots. But it's actually pretty funny. It's got an elephant sitting on a beach chair, and it says, "Welcome to the Gulf of America."
Wow. So, on July 16th, and I'll accept that hat, incidentally, you were at the White House. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Cliff?
July 16th. Was that the Eagles celebration?
Yes, it was. That's why I'm bringing it up. We want to know about it.
So, obviously, legally, one of the nice things that happened after we delivered PA, obviously I'm a diehard Eagles fan, was at the Super Bowl this past year, which was wild. And by the way, Uncle Barry, somebody asked me after the Super Bowl, they said, "Do you wish it was a closer game?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "I could sip on my beer and enjoy the entire game and relax knowing that we were going to be world champions."
What a game that was, wasn't it, Cliff?
Game.
My God.
Yeah, it's a runaway. It was absolutely legendary. So got to go to the White House, which was an awesome experience. All the players that were there, the coach, Trump, Trump really took to Lane Johnson, which was hilarious. He just was obsessed with how big he was, how big his feet were. So he ended up walking out with Trump. But it was just cool. We had a lot of Go Birds chants. I might have started one or two Dallas sucks chants. That's the true Delco spirit, even at the White House. So it was a great time, man, and something that all my worlds came colliding together of Eagles football, Donald Trump, the White House, Washington, D.C., Super Bowl champs. It was a dream, Uncle Barry.
Listen, Cliff, and I appreciate that because, to be honest with you, we in Philly are so proud of our Eagles, as you know. I have to ask you, because I'd be remiss if I didn't take you back. Door knocking, whoever thought about this business as a profession? In my day, they used to sell vacuum cleaners and encyclopedias by knocking on the door, and they had great results. Tell me, by any chance, did you go back in time and think about this idea from those that knocked on doors?
Yeah, so I'm a former math teacher by trade. I don't get into that often, but I think I look at things pretty analytically. And honestly, it was 2016 when I started to kind of pay attention to what the Democrats were doing compared to the Republicans. Now, listen, I might have done door-to-door sales. Let's say, when I was in elementary school, we were doing daffodil sales for the American Cancer Society. Or when I was in middle school, I was delivering papers for the Delco Times, right? But, I never really had some sort of full-time job doing it. Until 2016, I saw, we had all of these Republicans in Kentucky who were volunteering for Rand Paul for his Senate reelect. The Democrats had the same thing, but they also had all of these paid community organizers that were going door to door. And I said, why aren't we doing that?
Yeah.
Right? We match them or try to match them on TV. We try to match them on radio ads. We try to match them on digital ads. We try to match them on texting and all the other platforms that you can reach voters. So why are we just sitting out when Obama has set up this whole model of community organizing? And that was really the inspiration, Uncle Barry, for us to say, look, why don't we test this out? And since 2018, doing these door-knocking programs, I'm happy to report on your show, we've won over 400 elections across the country using this model of saying, look, let's deploy a team into the district. We'll win for 30, 60, or 90 days, and we'll compete and we'll win because that personal interaction, everybody's getting numb to the TV ads. They're all muting them if they have cable. Everybody throws all the mailers right in the trash. You put a 20-year-old girl or a 20-year-old guy at the door talking and engaging with the voter, even if it's a short conversation, it's memorable and it works. The math tells us, the studies tell us from the left, 1 out of every 9 conversations that you have at the door equals a new vote. That is why we knock on doors.
So tell us, actually, because I'm really curious. I'm a businessman to a certain extent. Tell us, actually, how you started this business. Who ever thought of something like this? And you gave me a little brief detail just then. But how did you actually start this business? And where did you find all these door knockers, for God's sakes?
So it's a great question. The first time I realized that there was an opportunity here was a congressional candidate had called me after the 2016 race. There was a special election in 2017, And it was a friend of mine, but he said, hey, can you get me 12 guys and gals to come to my state and help me in this primary? And back then, I was like, look, I'll do this pro bono. And then, he started offering that, oh, no, like, you guys should set up shop. You guys should actually do this. Nobody knows how to recruit people. Nobody knows how to do this. So, look, I give credit. Back when I was in college, I was kind of an organizer on campus. I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and the group I got involved with, Young Americans for Liberty, I really worked across the state of Pennsylvania. I was their state chair. It was all volunteer, but I was their state chair organizing on campus, recruiting students. And what I was able to do, Uncle Barry, is I kind of learned the skills of, how do you do outreach to people? How do you solicit applications? How do you get people to share, the link to your application? How do you get people excited about the opportunity? And the real reason our programs work when it comes to door knocking is we hire based on ideology. Okay, if you just try to hire people off Indeed or off Craigslist, good luck.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to last. You got to be there as part of the fight. And so we try to create a culture. We put all of our door knockers in Airbnbs, not hotels, because we want them to have some camaraderie. We try to make sure we take care of them with their pay, their gas cards, all the housing, the literature, the door knocking app. All of that's taken care of because we want these folks to be really treated well because it's not necessarily an easy job.
Of course
right?
not.
You're knocking 80 to 100 doors a day. You're working 6 days a week, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but you're there for the mission. You're there for the cause. That is why our door knocking programs work.
Have most people been receptive to this, Cliff? I mean, do you get a welcome? Do you get a cup of coffee and a donut? Or are people shutting the doors in your faces? Obviously, most of the people you're knocking on, I'm sure, are Republicans. Tell us about that for a minute.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a really good question, and I don't want to sound like a lawyer because I'm not a lawyer for the record, but it depends, right? And the it depends comes down to what are you trying to do, right? Let's say me and Uncle Barry are facing off in a Republican versus Republican primary, and I got door knockers going to the door saying Cliff Maloney's a rhino sellout and Barry Sable's a patriot, a true conservative Republican. Those are tough conversations to have because one guy's good, one guy's bad, and you're talking to Republicans. Where if you look at what we did in 24, Uncle Barry, you're talking about going to Republicans' doors that have Trump signs in their yard.
Yep.
Right? They've got their car wrapped with Trump. They're coming to the door in a Trump hat and a Trump shirt that says Trump 32. Right?
Unbelievable.
I mean, they're 7 years out. So what I'm telling people is those doors were extremely friendly because what you're doing is you're just getting people that if they vote, they're 100% going to vote Republican, but they're not likely to vote. And so those are more what we call encouragement doors or reminder doors, very, very positive. And honestly, you'd be surprised. The amount of positive versus negative interactions, most people are good people. They're registered to vote, so they're probably pretty solid citizens. And I always tell a lot of the new door knockers, give it 2 days and you'll get some faith back in humanity. People are good and they enjoy the conversation. That's why it works.
So for those that may be a little confused, I didn't kind of tee this up right, I guess. What I'm saying is you knock on doors so we make our listeners understand, in most cases that there is an early ballot sitting on their desk or their table or their kitchen table. And your job actually is to get them to send that ballot in. Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that to the listeners as well?
Yeah, so our program at Citizens Alliance is called the PA Chase. Let me just give a quick overview so everyone's kind of looped in if they
Thank you,
didn't
sir.
hear. Sure. So the PA Chase program we launched for 2024, and the entire objective was that Trump got 20% of the mail-in against Biden. And we said if we do this program where we knock 500,000 doors, that we think Trump can get to 33% of the mail-in. Now, I'll bury the lead here. We were successful. We knocked 510,000 doors with 120 full-time people, 10 Airbnbs across the state. And the big news that should give Uncle Barry a big smile is that Trump got 34.5% of the mail-in vote against Harris was the objective. But there were two phases to the program. The first phase is you're going out with a request form for someone to request a mail-in ballot. So we did that for about the first month and a half. And then the final month, everything changes when the ballots go out. And so then you're just going to the doors of Republicans that have a ballot. You go back every 7 to 10 days if they still haven't turned it in. All the data on who has a ballot, who's returned it, that's all public, right? We have that in real time. I mean, every 24 hours at the latest, that is updated, and then we're able to know exactly where somebody's ballot is.
What a
The left
job.
has done this for a decade, Uncle Barry.
Yep.
We're finally competing on the right.
Listen, Cliff, we're up against the break. Just a throw-in, by the way. I saw pictures of you beardless. Please keep the beard. Your wife and I think you should keep it. I just want you to know that. Listen, you have been listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. I had to sneak that in, Kirk. I have to tell you the truth. I was dying to do that all morning. You are listening to Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. My special guest, the door knocker, Cliff Maloney. See you on the other side of the break.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stop to opt out.
You work hard for your money, so why let traditional banks hold you back? At Current, we're flipping the script with banking that keeps up with your life. With Current, your paycheck does more. Need money before payday? Access up to $750 with a paycheck advance if you qualify. No credit check, no hassle. Also, the Build Card makes it simple to build credit with no annual fees or hidden traps. Members boosted their credit scores by more than 80 points after just 6 months. Get ahead. Get Current.
To get started with Current, text SPEND to 323232. That's SPEND to 323232. Text SPEND to 323232.
Banking services provided by Choice Financial Group and or Cross River Bank, both members FDIC. Paycheck advance provided by Fineco Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Product eligibility, availability, and performance may vary and are subject to change at any time. Using your credit card responsibly may allow you to improve your credit score. For details on cost, terms, and conditions, visit current.com or call 1-888-851-3177.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1274. That's 800-587-1274. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1274. That's 800-587-1274 today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Free speech lives here with Kale and Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. My special guest, door knocker, Cliff Maloney. I would imagine your hands, like theirs, are arthritic from all the knocking. Nevertheless, Cliff, explain to me and my listeners, how in the world are we ever going to explain to our kids of tomorrow what happened over the last 4 Biden years?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think, like I said, I don't think people realize just how much, sane, rational thought came back to save the day. And I've said this on your show before, Uncle Barry, but
Yes,
I do think there's a pendulum. And I think the pendulum can only go so far before normal people say enough is enough. And so I look at the last 4 years. I mean, I think it'll be seen as one of the biggest failures when it comes to the border. I think it'll be seen, if society regains sanity, it will be seen as one of the craziest 4 years of pushing this woke, this DEI, this legalized racism, as I would call it, that really, it just really pushed all of these radical things that, only 10% of people agree with it. 90% think it's atrocious. But for some reason, the radical activists, the radical politicians, the radical donors, they were able to kind of infiltrate Biden. I mean, I don't think Biden was really running the White House. I don't think anybody at this point thinks that.
No.
But I think that Trump is going to have one of the best 4 years that we've seen. I think that after that, I've said this. Let me make this prediction here publicly for the first time on your show. I think that whoever the Democrats nominate to be the nominee in 2028 is going to have significant ramifications for the next 10 to 20 years in this country, because that's a choice they're going to have. Do they double down on this woke nonsense and siding with illegal immigrants over American citizens? Or do they straighten up and say, listen, we're going to get back to the basics. We want to bring costs down. We want to figure out how to make the economy work. I'm not so sure that they're not going to double down, which I would love.
You've seen for the last 6 months, they're doubling down on everything. The border, ICE, wokeness. You see it. We have a lot of thoughts for you in the third quarter. I'm going to get to all that stuff. But frankly, I mean, this is no guessing. These people have a different agenda. And we're going to talk about the mayor of New York in a minute. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But you know something? I guess the question also I must ask you is, in your travels, tell me what you think. How deep is the deep state? And what have you seen to convince you that it's like a bottomless pit?
Yeah. Well, no, I think, most of what I find in government is, although we think a lot of these actors, are doing things that are heinous or that are illegal or that are violating your Fourth Amendment, your privacy. I mean, the reality is, sure, you're always going to have those folks, but it's also government. So I don't give them too much credit. They're bureaucrats after all. But obviously, there are some talented folks out there. I think that when you have Tulsi Gabbard as our Director of National Intelligence, I feel extremely great about that. I actually did an event with Tulsi back in 2016 talking about getting young people involved in politics. She, at that point, was talking about getting young people into the Democrat Party. I was talking about the Republican Party, but she's on our team now. And I really think that her appointment, her, Bobby Kennedy, a couple of the others are really strong cabinet members. But I think Tulsi and her role is something that was really shaped the deep state in a way that I think we're able to get a lot of the rot out of the swamp and to get a lot of things focused on how do we protect the American people rather than how do we get in the way or how do we do things that are going to rip away their liberty. So, look, I mean, I'm on the road all the time. I see plenty of things. I will tell you the number one thing that bothers me about government overreach while traveling are these boys in blue, the 400-pound TSA guys or the 300-pound woman that has blue hair. They're authoritarians. They're like parents that go back to coach their kids to relive their youth. They couldn't become cops. And so it's very frustrating to me. And look, if I told you how many times I've been pulled out of the TSA pre-check line for a random screening,
I'm sure.
you might have some thoughts about the deep state and what list I'm on.
Well, let me ask you a question then. That brings up the topic. If you're on the road all the time, how can you be faithful to your hairstylist? You got to be cheating on that person all the time. Come on, break it down for me.
He likes all my stuff on Instagram. It's funny you say that, and that's when I know he's wondering if I'm out and about. Well, luckily, I don't have the beautiful hair of Uncle Barry. At 34
I have a big
years
hole in
young.
my head in the back. But it looked good at one time, I want you to know. You know, yeah, you like that Kurt on the other side. He sees it all the time. So, listen, before we get wrapped up a little bit, I don't want to miss this either. I don't want everybody to think you're all serious, okay? There is some time that you have. Tell me about, and my listeners want to know, about the World Series of Poker. You playing it religiously? Tell me what that's about, my friend.
Yeah, so I grew up playing, during kind of the poker boom. I guess at this point we're past the statute of limitations, so I can say this. But, when we were all in high school was when Chris Moneymaker, I think that was 2005.
Yep.
He won the World Series of Poker, and he was a normal guy drinking beer, and he's beating all these pros. So anyway, the poker boom happened. I was playing online, got really into it, read a bunch of books, started to understand the game, a lot of, tournaments versus cash games, that type of thing. So the story goes like this. I'd played the World Series in 2016. I played the cheapest event they had. I was a broke kid, and I think it was $1,000 buy-in, and I min cashed, meaning I was one of the first to cash, but I busted out immediately. And so I think I made like $1,500. So I profited $500. And I said to myself, well, I've got a 100% cash rate in the World Series of Poker, so I'm never going to play again.
Yeah.
So,
I can't win, my friend. I try, and I'm not bad at poker, but I cannot win. It's sad. Go ahead.
So I didn't really play much. I was building up our group, Citizens Alliance, really focused on elections. And then in 2022, a donor of mine who invests and is a big supporter, nice guy, he said, yeah, you should come out and play a couple of the tournaments. Because the World Series, for those that don't know, the World Series goes about 2.5 months through the summer in Vegas. So there's, I think, somewhere around, somewhere between 75 and like 125 different types of tournaments. You've got poker, you have no limit hold'em, you've got stud, you've got all these types
in
of
Vegas,
Omaha.
correct?
Yes. So it's in Vegas. It's at the Paris and the Horseshoe, which used to be Bally's or Bailey's if you're in southeastern PA.
Yep.
Anyway, the story from 22, I'll tell this one quick. I go out there, we play in a World Poker Tour event that was also happening in Vegas during the World Series. So they're competing kind of brands. The World Poker Tour event at the Venetian, it was $1,000 buy-in. I won the tournament at 8 in the morning the next morning for $100,000.
Wow.
And so what I did with that was I called back home and said, listen, if I come home and I'm up $100,000, you're going to be happy. But if I'm up $90,000, you'll still be happy. She said, yeah. So I bought into the main event, which everybody watches on TV. This is the World Series of Poker main event.
Incredible.
8,600 players.
Yep.
And ended up coming in somewhere in the 200s for $45,000. And that was like putting whipped cream on a pile of crap to get that far. But the winner got $10 million. So it was a good day, but it wasn't a great day.
Listen, Cliff, we're up against the break. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Cliff, I want you to think about this. The definition of a socialist, a person that wants everything you have except your job. Barry Sable, we'll see you on the other side of the break with Cliff Maloney.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
In retirement, nobody wants to have one eye on airfare and the other eye on the stock market. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen. Saturdays at 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. I appreciate you here with me, my special guest, Cliff Maloney, who I never get anybody's name right, so I just call him Mahoney. Listen, Cliff, are you still with me? You didn't fall asleep, did you?
I'm trying here. Got my coffee. We're good.
Listen, you are, and let's face facts, a Superman figure politically in these parts. And somehow people know that you and I are tight, and they kind of treat me like your Clark Kent figure. And I say this because I know that who you are, the paparazzi must be following you around. I know it. And your patriots in this area have some simple questions that they want to know about. As an example, we're going to play a little game, truth or rumor. Or call it fact and rumor. So here we go. I know that you feel sorry for Brennan, Comey, Clapper, Page, Strzok, and you are assisting in helping them find legal counsel. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
That's false.
Of course it's false. That's my feeling. What do you think about those guys? Are we going to hold them accountable, Cliff, or what?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that, get excited about certain battles or certain people that need to face justice. I think the people you listed are top of the list. Especially when I see that memo that came out that pretty much said Hillary Clinton was okay with falsifying the Russian dossier because it would distract from her email scandal. I mean, all the people that called us conspiracy theorists, that called us nuts, that said, this is all a right-wing nut job act. It's like, come on, no. I mean, that getting that, to me, really is going to open up a lot of doors. Now, the problem you're going to run into is, yes, I think a lot of them should be locked up. They should be charged. They should have their day in court. But the problem you're going to run into is trying to figure out, who do you spend the time and energy on, and how do you avoid it looking political?
So many people,
right?
Cliff. You're right. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
And as much as people don't think about it, the politics drives everything. The 2026 midterm is going to drive a lot of the decisions that the DOJ makes, just like the same thing happened under Biden, right? This is nothing new, but that is a reality of the decisions that they make, and it can dictate where things go and who gets tried.
Well, let me ask you a question. You kind of like took some of my steam out of my punch here. What do you think? What are the Republicans going to face going into 2026 that you see different or brewing now?
So everybody, if you had a gun to my head, what's my prediction for 26? Right now, I actually think Republicans are going to do quite well. Now, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, I would have been more hesitant because I assumed immediately after the mandate in November that Democrats would pivot. Everyone assumed that. Any rational person.
But pivot to what, Cliff? What could they pivot to? Tell me. Did I lose them? Ooh. Oh, my God, we lost them. All right, so here's the story. Last week, while we're waiting, I'm proud to say, as I mentioned earlier on, I don't know what happened to Cliff, okay? But he'll come back. I was, as I say, in Canton, Ohio. I have to tell you, it brought back so many memories for me. Seth Joyner, Clyde Simmons, Keith Byers. Oh, we're back. But nevertheless, Chris Berman, there were so many great times. I want you to know, if you ever get a chance to go to the Hall of Fame for baseball, like many people did for Richie Allen, or someone like Eric Allen, if they get enshrined, it's a must. We have Cliff back? Okay, my friend, you're back?
I am here.
I guess that was a toilet break. Nevertheless, it's okay. So go ahead, finish your thought before I give you more fact or rumor.
So you said to me, where are they going to pivot? I mean, listen, they can stop siding with illegal immigrants over American citizens, right? They can present, how about this, Uncle Barry? How about the Democrats present some sort of economic plan? When's the last time you heard a Democrat leader come forward and say, here's a budget, here's a tax amendment, here's something that will bring costs down when you go to the supermarket or when you're at the gas tank? I don't think I've heard that in 5 years. Their message is just Donald Trump is a racist, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump's bad. We've had enough of it. And the fact that they haven't pivoted, my 2026 prediction, if they don't pivot, it will be a very, very good day for Republicans. We will go all in on the economy. We will go all in on the border. We will go all in on protecting women in this country. And Democrats will say that Trump is the devil and he's not even on the ballot.
Yep. Listen, they're double. Well. Listen, you are a poker player. All I see is a continuation bet here. You have a good hand, but you may not have hit. And that's what I think the Democrats are thinking. I don't see any good hand. Let me get back to fact or rumor. It has been said that you have broken bread with recently elected Democratic mayor candidate Zohan Madami. I guess that's how you say it, because I never get names right. You adore his policies and are planning a fly fishing trip with him to discuss his future plans. Fact or rumor?
Rumor. And let me comment on your socialist question as well. You want me to give kind of my definition here? Can I segue to that?
Of course you can. You're my guest.
So, this is a weird thing to root for because I actually do like New York City. When I go to New York to do media, when I go there to see, I do enjoy seeing Broadway shows. It really, really is going to be a horrific thing for the Democrats nationally if this guy gets elected. My advice to anybody in New York, I've been talking to a lot of business owners. They're trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to get the candidates to consolidate, whether it's Cuomo, whether it's Adams. And I really, at this point, don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to consolidate. There's a lot of egos on a lot of sides there in that campaign. But here's the silver lining for conservatives. This guy is a diehard socialist. He doesn't back away from it. The fact that he is calling for government-run grocery stores, we are going to have a front row seat to how bad socialism destroys a city, a country, a state, whatever you want to call it.
You've seen it in Venezuela, haven't you?
The problem is so many of the young people in this country, they're learning. It's getting better. We're moving in the right direction. But so many of them have just been in these bubbles, on these campuses, indoctrinated. They don't understand that the incentives of free market capitalism are what built America. They don't understand that that is what we need in this country. New York City is about to give us the example that I think for the next 10 years, Democrats are going to have to figure out how they reverse and pivot away from that.
Yeah, your buddy Charlie Kirk does it very well, as we see on college campuses. Listen, we have limited time. I got to move fast. Fact or rumor? The rumor has it that chick Congresswoman of Texas, Jazz Crockett, has become a personal friend of yours, and you have a crush on her for her montage and policies, and therefore have cocktails with her frequently. Is that true or false?
That is false. You are about as crock-full you-know-what as she is.
Isn't she a trip, this lady?
She really is, and I think she's the definition of understanding that we are not sending our best to Congress. I mean, the book that came out that her staff leaked to this author and to the press, that she forces them to have her sit in the back seat as if she's being, in an Uber, that she is, screaming at them, that she's doing all these things. I mean, it is wild, the entitlement of some of these elected officials.
Yeah, it's crazy. Listen, we have about 3 minutes. I want to hit a topic, and I want to let you respond to my thoughts. Fact or rumor? Word has it that you have had a run-in with some nuns over voter integrity, and as a Catholic, you have been ostracized from church, and you are becoming a practicing Orthodox Jew, and that you are wearing a hat all the time because your hat selections cover your yarmulke. Now, is any of this true or false? I need to know.
I'll dive in. Yes, this made national news. It was hilarious. Now, it's always funny. You think the media is corrupt, the mainstream media, but then when you are the storyline in the corruption, man, does it really make you see it. So here's the quick rundown. We were doing our Pennsylvania chase. We had a girl, Charlotte, ballot chaser. She's great. She was up in Erie, turning out Republican mail-in ballots. She goes to an address up in Erie. It had about 40 people living at the house. Let's say 39 were Democrat and one was Republican, and the Republican had a ballot. So she's there to get that ballot. So she walks in. It's a little bit of an odd setup. And the staff member says, no one lives here. This is a nunnery. This is a convent. It's temporary housing for nuns. So she leaves, tells the team about it, tells me about it. So we put it out publicly. And CNN goes off. Those are nuns. They went and interviewed them.
Come on, man. This was Mother Jones. What did you do? Mother Jones. I did my homework.
So the best part is every reporter would never, ever print that the staff member obviously lied. They didn't want us there because we were supporting Trump. And so I just learned the media, man, they can be corrupt, but they painted me as this anti-nun voter fraud hoaxer. But
yeah, you were against pro-trans and pro-Ukraine group. I got it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even call them Catholic. But one thing we did learn, guess what, Uncle Barry? Because of all the news, that Republican returned her ballot. That's how you get it done.
I love that. And I guess it's false then that you're not converting to Judaism. I thought we would be able to go to synagogue together. My loss. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. My special guest, Cliff Maloney. We could only learn so much from him. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Your official home of Penn State football and basketball is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Every Nittany Lions game, every play, all season on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Sunday morning. What a great day. What a great show. What a great guest. Great guests make great shows. Listen, Mahoney, not Maloney, Mahoney. We have a call. Kevin from Bucks County. Let's take a quick call, Cliff. Go ahead, Kevin.
Good morning, Uncle Barry.
Thank you so much for listening, my brother.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm the guy that owns GregSoccerSucks.com. So Kurt knows me. I was calling to actually let the listening audience know that this coming weekend, Friday the 15th and Saturday the 16th, we're having a charitable hockey game at Aston Iceworks.
Wow.
And we're going to be raffling off some items, and one of the items is going to be a Trump gift basket with the book Letters to Trump, the Trump board game, an empty bottle of his 2016 Cabernet, a MAGA hat, a coin. So if anyone's interested in learning more, the website is called Checkmates, plural, charity.com, or you could go to checkmatescharity.com/donate. It's for people that basically, for all intents and purposes, need to evacuate their bowels through a bag.
Wow.
So it's a very underserved community.
And what date is this again, Kevin, and where?
It's Aston Iceworks this Friday and Saturday, the 15th and 16th. You can go to the website again, checkmatescharity.com or /donate. All the information's there. And we're going to have a lot of raffle items. Yeah, we're looking forward to having a lot of people
Uncle Barry's coming Friday, Kevin. You're going to see me.
Go, Friday night.
You're going to see me.
I will post a link to you on your Facebook.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Listen, thanks for calling so much. Cliff, are you still with me?
Oh, yeah, Aston Iceworks. That's where I had my first kiss in 6th grade.
You got a kiss?
I know you wouldn't believe it.
No, I don't.
Grade,
no,
man.
I don't. I need more info from the wife. She didn't call in. I'm still wondering, do we have a wife or not? Listen, Cliff.
I'm telling you, in 6th grade, you would have loved it. All the broke kids at Chi think it was $4 to rent skates for a couple hours there on Friday nights. It's great.
Well, I'm glad you gained some experience before you got married, or supposedly got married. Listen, I always ask the question, Cliff, and I want your interpretation. And I mean this, and I say this confidently and proud to say, you have learned so much about politics. I listen to you everywhere, and I want to know, how do you keep up with learning and educating yourself on what's really happening in this country? You have to spend hours and hours and hours just gaining information. How does this all happen?
Well, first and foremost, there's kind of a couple parts to the job. So, when I first started doing this, I realized I needed three things, right? I need door knockers, I need candidates, and I need money, right? That's it. It's a simple math equation.
Tell me how you raise money, Cliff. I'd love to know how you get donors. Can you do that on the air?
Absolutely. So the door knockers and the candidates are the easy part, right? I mean, I shouldn't say easy, but it's simple. I said, the problem is I got to go out and I got to figure out, all right, it's much easier, Uncle Barry. I see this from people all the time to try to get into the political world. It's easy to say, nobody wanted to support it. Nobody wanted to donate, and it's tough, right? So a lot of what I do, I'm on the road 200 to 300 days a year, depending on how busy it is in the programs. But the reason I'm on the road, yes, I'm out knocking doors with our teams. Yes, we're out doing candidate trainings and door knocker trainings, but the vast majority of my time, I have to raise somewhere between $5 and $12 million every single year to pay for all of this.
Whopping sum of money, my friend.
That's the day-to-day is reaching out to donors, cold outreach, warm outreach, and setting meetings. And then guess what? I got a jet set to meet with folks and ask them to support and to donate to sponsor all these ballot chasers. So, I'm talking to you right now. I'm in Detroit. I'm headed to Vegas. I've been on the road for 3 weeks. I mean, it's constant. I don't enjoy the travel, but there's no alternative. And I believe so much in the mission that I'm willing to put in the time, to put in the work, to meet with these funders, who are patriots, by the way, and to get them to sponsor these ballot chasers. That's what it takes to succeed.
Yeah, great job. Great job. Let me ask you a question. Is New Jersey going to see Cliff Maloney and his staff?
So here's the big announcement for your show today. After the PA chase, we've been obviously, people have reached out, Jersey, Virginia, a lot of other states. I am happy to announce on your show today that we are going to send in our teams to work with some PACs in the state, to work with some groups in the state.
Wonderful.
And our folks will knock 500,000 doors to chase ballots for Jack Chitterelli, rooting for Jack and hoping that all the lessons that we learned in PA will help us to get over the finish line and actually flip Jersey. So excited to have my team there.
Yep.
And those folks on the ground are really going to make a difference.
And I appreciate that. Listen, we have roughly 3 or 4 minutes to go. I must ask 2 questions. Number one, my experience with the airways was horrific when I went to Canton, Ohio last week. I have to quickly tell you because I want to get your quick response. So the plane was supposed to take off at 4:15. It didn't. It took off a half hour later. Then the next thing I know, we taxi you off at the terminal, and the pilot says, we're going to be leaving in 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, we're going to be leaving in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, we're going to be leaving in a half hour. Half hour later, we went back to the terminal. That plane did not take off until 2 or 3 hours later. 30 seconds before I give you my other question. You must be driving yourself nuts in the airports, waiting, coming, and going. Tell me 30 seconds what it's been like for you.
Yeah, your assessment is 100% correct. This has been the worst year in a long time. I always tell people the best time to travel was COVID, because remember, there was an election in 2020, so I couldn't stop traveling. I don't really know, what the airlines are doing. I just think the traffic is up so much that they're trying to keep up with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for anybody that's, opening their eyes when they're going through the airports, it is brutal. But I just, I've gotten to the point where I'm numb to it and I'm just working through it.
Yeah. Listen, I have with you, I don't know, say another 30 or 40 seconds. The statement, you learn something every day. Tell me what Mahoney and Maloney have learned in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think if you're not laughing through politics, you're going to drive yourself insane, right? If you're over the target, if you're effective, if you're impactful and you're doing what you do, people will come after you. They will come after you legally. They will trash your name in media. So I just always tell people before they get in, whether they're an activist, whether they're a politician, whether they're just an engaged voter or citizen, it is a nasty business. And the only way to get through all of the craziness is to laugh about it, because it's, after all, if you're in it to help people, you're doing the right thing. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we do at Citizens Alliance. And, yeah, you got to solve the problem. The only remedy in the political world is to laugh at some of the corruption, laugh at the goons, expose it, but you got to have a good time doing it or you're going to get burned out and you're going to want to quit.
Yep. Listen, Cliff, now that I know you're going to be in Jersey, dinner is on me. I want to thank Cliff Maloney for joining me this morning. He's the best of the best. Delaware Valley on your busy Sunday. Great.
For you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career